Good evening. Thank you for being faithful to your favorite TV station, the Royal TV. And tonight, dear viewers, who want to say that we have a full house and we have a lot to discuss tonight. It is no news that the GC is being awaited, the release of the GC is being awaited. It is no news that the release must come to pass. And students, parents, and others have been waiting for this GC release. And so we shall be discussing on how to handle after release of the GC, how to handle all this stress. We know that in the past years we've been recording a lot of maybe suicides by students, and so it is incumbent on us to think that it is very important for us to discuss how this can be handled. And so that's why we've brought some experts here to talk on that. Secondly, if we have time, we'll also be talking on accidents. You know, a few days ago, we had a disastrous accident at the Bafoussam Yaoundé road where about 16 to 18 people died. And so we shall have to handle that. Given to that, very soon, students shall be traveling back to their various places to start schooling. How can maybe agencies, drivers, maybe travelers start handling these situations as at now so that we avoid all these deaths that we've been recording all this while. At this time, dear viewers, without waste of time, let us introduce the gentlemen and lady that we have in the house. Kikishi Kenneth, you are welcome to Crossviews tonight.
Thank you, Moderator Mambo. Good evening, fellow panelists, especially to the lone lady in the house, an expert in psychology. And I think that when you mentioned the case of failure cases, I know that she will be there to assist parents to properly guide children not to commit exploits. Thank you. And to the team in the studio, I say good evening, and to those millions of fans watching Royal TV, I say good evening.
Thank you so very much. At this time, dear viewers, let us also, we know Kikishi Kenneth is a human rights activist, and so, or human rights defender, any way you want to put it. At this time, let us also welcome Obasi. You are welcome to Crossviews.
Mr. Mambo, thank you very much. Good evening to Royal TV, and good evening to my co-panelists and to our Mama G in the house. I think that since we have been talking on Royal TV, we've never had a lady and such as a panelist. So we thank God that Royal TV is doing the best so that to integrate women in TV debate, and to see that by God's grace the development of our country with the recent development that the Lord Mayor of Boya municipality is bringing in to develop Boya. I thank God that I think that is it's a good start for the CPDM ruling party. Thank you very much, Mr. Mambo.
At this time, thank you so very much. That was Obasi Humphrey. He's a civil society actor. Dear viewers, let us also welcome the journalist in the house, Chetata. You're welcome to Crossviews.
Thank you so much, Mola Mwambu. Good evening to co-panelists on this esteemed platform. It's beautiful to be here once again. It's beautiful to talk about issues that pertain to the nation, to give a quarter to nation building. As it said, this may just be our own way to build the nation. It's coming at a very important time in the socio-political context of Cameroon. While we are awaiting the President of the Republic to come back from wherever he went to, we've seen a lot of things happening. Recently, we had an activity that sought to strengthen the bond between the military and civilians through a health intervention at the Bukwango Integrated Health Center, where the joint military region, second joint military region as it is called, carried out an outreach. In fact, the outreach is actually still on, where free consultation is being done, medications are being provided to the sick, all of this free of charge. Now, this just comes to bring or bridge the gap between the population, the civilian population, and the military. You know, we're in a context that has been shaped by fear due
Yeah.
to the crisis we've had in the southwest and northwest regions the last 9 years. We've had people see those in uniforms different perspectives. So I think such actions, such humanitarian actions, help to build the bond, they help to bridge the gap, and they help to make for a better community, such that we see in the military brothers and sisters, and the military can see in us fellow Cameroonians, and together, keeping aside our divide, we can work together for national unity.
Of course, we have to work together for national unity because it is clear we have no other country than the Cameroon that we have. And so if we are not united, or eventually we are going to fall because we'll be disunited. And so those who are disunited eventually cannot grow, cannot stand together. It is at this time, dear viewers, that we welcome Moki Henrietta, the lone lady in the house. She is a guardian counselor. You are welcome to Crossviews tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Mwambo. I'm so honored and so flattered to be the only lady, as you people are saying. I'm overwhelmed, and I say that I give a big kudos to the promoter of this beautiful channel TV. I also salute the management and the personnel, without whom we cannot be here. And also, I wish to greet and to welcome our millions of viewers, without whom we cannot also be here. I want to say that I am so concerned by the topic of today, the highlights concerning the GCO results. That I will want to say is all about the management of the results. So in the course of development, we are going to touch the heart, we are going to touch all the components, but just to give a global view, I want to say this program is coming to educate all of us, the stakeholders, the educational stakeholders, it be the school, the community, the parents, the family, and the students themselves. We have each a role to play, a pivotal role to play in this, in the education in general, and particular that of our children. And then the irony in it is that there are many stakeholders, but the central referee is the students, on whom everything is now lying. We are going to develop and to see into it and to prevent, because counseling is all about prevention, remedial, and cure. We don't want to lose lives because of the exams, but we want to talk better, to save life, and to ensure a better future for our students, for our children. Thank you.
Of course, we are there to ensure a better future for our children, because being parents, the responsibility has been given to us to make sure that we grow them up, and so we have to protect them, because if we don't protect them, they won't grow the way they have to grow. Without waste of time, we will not go for any briefing. I want to begin at this time with you. Let me say, Kike. Let me begin with you. At least you have children, you've been grooming up other children, and so on. And we are looking at a situation whereby in the past years, we've been seeing that students, at times when they release the GCE, you know, they get to risk their lives to suicide missions in different ways. And now we are here to say that let us give some measures, some opportunity for parents and other people, guardians and so on, how to guide about this, so that we should maybe register some other deaths or risky situations. So how do you look at all this?
Mr. Moderator Mambo,
Yes.
it's a very timely discussion. We know in a few hours, and I'm not talking about a presidential shot, I'm talking about if we expect that in a little over 72 hours or so, the results of the GC should be out. Even though Cameroon do not have data on suicide after exam release, it is clear that you always have situations of deaths which are suicidal,
Yeah.
but because of the shame, the family will just say that the child was due to illness and the child had died. And it is only in the corridors, quarter corridors, that we hear the suicide. And so those are not documented, but they are cases of child or student death caused that they take away their life because of the poor management of failure. A country like India stands out as the highest rate of data on suicides committed by students. In the year 2024, more than 2,000 students below 18 years old committed suicide after exam failure of exam in India, official exams. And other countries like Korea and Iran can also tell you, they have data on examination suicide committed by students after failure. And between 2014 and 2024, there were about more than 25,000 suicide cases in that same India because of examination failure. Now, the first failure or the first poor management after results of release of examinations is that parents do not control themselves first.
Okay.
The first way to attack or to manage a failure case is yourself. Calm down first. Despite the huge sums of money that you might have spent in boarding school or in a day school or wherever there's money that you have spent, when a child fails an examination, you first manage yourself. The poor management starts from the fact that you do not understand, you did not hold yourself back and take a breath. And so you just start talking and, giving the child reason to think that that's the end of the world. These ministers that we have, these very successful men, there was once a time that they failed in something. Either failed examination or failed in the business strategy. And if friends around them did not cajole them with some good words, take your child and leave the failure. There's another academic year that is coming. So when you first of all manage yourself, you will know the words to use to cajole the child. Now, going back to the child, you need to tell the child that embrace the child. Failure is end. They say experience is the best teacher. Each time that a child, if you remember well, all of us, like toddlers, were creeping. And then after creeping, you start to stand. And then when you stand, you are expecting steps. The first steps or the first week that the child is standing and making steps, he always fall after the first step. Now, if you have handled a toddler crawling, creeping around the house, and then he starts to stand, and then you are so patient to wait until he made the first step, and then the second, the third, before the fifth. That is the same thing with examination.
Okay.
If you could handle a child to walk, and it's because of the confidence that you gave the child after he failed. So it is about, trying to manage the environmental impact. What they call self-esteem is very important. The usage of words could be that kind of prophecy that can become negative, a curse to the child.
Okay.
If you are dull, what's the kind of words that you are using? If his friends or her friends have all passed, make sure that you don't compare your child to other children. Make sure you don't make a public announcement in the quarter or in the compound about your child's failure. Bring the child to yourself. How was the result? Okay, I did not make it, daddy. Okay, and that's not the end. It's just a step. There are other chances. Next year, I will still put in as much effort as I need. Don't do the blame game and the shaming. Don't do the blame game and the shaming.
Yeah.
A child, you see a child who commits suicide has either has been insulted and cursed and compared to those children in the quarter who are failures, or where the society has qualified them. I'm not saying that they are failure children, but where societal prejudices have made people to look at them as failures. You are good for nothing. Look at Paul passed very well.
Yes, you are a useless son.
You are a useless child. No, ask the child. First of all, talk to the child as a human being.
Okay.
Bring back his self-esteem. Once you can build trust in that child that you will make it next year, the child goes back to school. The child will commune in the community without having, the gaps. There's also peer pressure. Remember that there are some friends that will also reject your child. And if you start by rejecting your child in the house, knowing that there's a bigger pressure even outside. There are some children who do not associate with their friends who fail GCE examination. They celebrate themselves and they can never invite those who have failed. And that is a stigma. There is a lot of stigmatization that comes.
And at times they don't even think of those friends who have failed. Immediately they know their result, they have passed, they start jubilating and just keep on.
If you can succeed to counsel your child, and then you start asking questions, what do you really think that made you to fail? Was it which subjects were so difficult for you? When you wrote it, what were your expectations?
Yes.
The child will talk, and when you at this time of question and answering, it is not you that is you talk just 20%. Let the child pour out. Once the child has exposed all those areas, start from the school year. Was it
Yes.
can you attribute your failure to the school environment? Or the child will be able to tell you that, you see, after school, each time that you send me to go and, most of these students are doing hawking. They sell after school. Maybe they workload in the house. Let the child talk for himself or herself so that you understand where the problem is coming from. And then now you can start making amends from there. If you realize that maybe it was the absence of textbook, you can now start to think about adding some textbook or bringing in some. But the issue is, let the parents know that some of us pass all our examinations, but we have not had positions. So it is not about exams. It is success in the society also is not about examination.
Okay.
It is said that exam is the true test of knowledge. It is not the true test of knowledge, but it's the only way, the only measuring stick that they can use. So examination should not be taken as the
and there are some successful people who never pass their exams.
Brilliance and intelligence. There's also examination pressure, which can make a child to fail because psychologically before writing, normally schools are supposed, they are supposed to move around school to counsel students before they write exams because sometimes some people have examination fever and they will fail not because they are not intelligent, but because psychologically they were not well groomed to attack examination. And then this GCE that we are talking about, awaiting the results, it was a dramatic one. A lot of drama was around the GCE that can actually, we just have to pull our hands and wait for the results.
Yes. Yeah, it really was dramatic, and we shall have to talk on that. Let me come to you, Basi. Looking at this, I think you have passed through GCE and other examinations, and looking at your experience, and you as a civil society actor, you've been dealing with so many of these students. Reading their behavior, what do you think should be a solution to bear this failure?
Mr. Mambo, thank you. Just to cut a leaf from what my brother in the same field was trying to say. Peer pressure. We have a lot of cases that we see, as you were trying to say. In 2018, we had a lot of cases of suicide of children. Now, it it brings into consideration that children it's not the children who do the suicide action. The parents and the environment kill the child physically before they themselves go and continue.
Okay.
How? Because, for example, you see a child of 18 years old who is doing O level.
Yeah.
Normally, that's the age of a child in
Okay.
O level. You see, before the child wants to write O level, the parents has already started giving hatred words and saying that your class where you are, you're not supposed to be there. We have a lot of cases that we have tried to counsel to children. If I tell you, last week we had a case in Yaoundé because of such, that the child failed back the French, and the child was 22 years old.
Okay.
And they said the child has sat in that advanced level, that is that they are back
Yes.
for over 3 good times, and he has been failing and he has been failing. So when the parents try to call my association, we try to invite them and we caution them, because the child was really getting mad. To be sincere, the child was getting mad. And I put this blame on the parent and the society, because they killed the child mentally, physically. Even their friend killed their fellow friend.
Yes.
Before the action itself take place.
Yes.
So
So he instigated now the child
yes,
to like feel suicide.
because for example, you see, if a mother or a parent comes and say you are too dull, let me use the pidgin language that I
Yes.
use in Boya. Be some very bad beginning. You overdull. I know spend 50,000 francs for university for secondary school for you can't pay. So those are the type of things we have encountered. We have tried to talk to the parents that, hey, you don't do this, you don't do that, you don't do that. Now, last time I was here talking about the mentality of a child when he's in school.
Yeah.
The 70% at first was given to the teachers, and 30% were granted to students at the level of any exam, except the university level. You see that now it has changed. 70% goes back to the children. So that means 30% now is at the level of the instructors, the teachers. That means the teachers teach you for just 30%, and 70% you look for yourself. Now, what if it's a child?
Now, teachers are watching, or maybe they want to debunk this.
Now, let me
But
explain.
how
Let me
do-
finish.
Yes.
Now, a child who is training himself on 30% will, for example, will not even know how to complete maybe its syllables, or how to
Okay,
do
you are
more
talking about
research.
completion of syllabus
No,
and
and
yes.
it's at the level of education.
Yes,
Madam here
getting
can
you.
tell us more
Yes,
about
I'm
that.
getting you.
And now the child will no more be doing more. Will be forced to be doing left and right research, because he's having 70%
Okay.
to be to himself. Force now would be now trying to see how he can catch up with what the teacher has been saying for the 9 months and the rest. You see, I'll take example with my experience when I was in secondary school, with this 30% and 70% of educational system that we are having. You see that there was a time that the teachers don't even come.
Okay.
They don't even come with their period. I don't want to even call the school, so please. Don't we just call the school? If I try to call the school, the minister will follow them. There are times that teachers don't even come. That is when I went to a counselor and I met that counselor, and the counselor tried to explain me this 70% and 30% is that to tell you that it has changed.
Okay.
It is no more the level of education is no more at first, where all the teachers will be forcing to see that they reach a certain level of education, of mental education of their children in their class. For example, if you take history or any subject, the teacher will force that at least 50% to even pass his subject. Then now, if you like, you pass. If you like, you don't pass. Now, coming to the solution to what I would like to say is that first of all, let parents to stop the abusive words or cursing word. We know, as he was trying to say, when a child wants to start to grow, the child will fall, the child will cripple, the child even dating itself, and after a time, maybe 1 year, you start seeing the child make that and start walking, and that is how life is, and that is how examination is.
Okay.
Then the second thing is that the second thing also is that let the society and the parents, because me, I'll bring back to the parents, because I'll speak more about age. You see that if a child, normally the age rate of a child to
Yes.
enter secondary school is 12 years old. The word of a child who enters secondary school maybe 13, 14 years old, they'll start now inflating pressure on the child that when you reach the O level, you have to just pass it at once and just go.
Okay.
What if the
But I would
child?
like us now to really like handle, because to handle the immediate maybe
Solutions?
yes, because we know that the results might be released any of these days, because by information we got that the board,
Yes,
held, I think, on
Senate,
Monday.
the Senate.
He held on Monday, and so after holding that, we know that after that kind of a meeting, they start preparing how to
To
release it. So any of these days, but we should be okay. Let me come to you, Madam Oki. What are some of those things that you think from parents, teachers, the community, guardians can do to make sure that we keep these children from all the stress, handle their stress, all the suicide situations that we've been recording in the past years? As a mother, I'm sure you've handled so many children. So what do you think can be done immediately the results are released?
Thank you. It's not only as a mother, but also as a mother, I have my own experience.
Okay, good.
What I want to say here is that my co-panelists who have spoken before, they have really touched pertinent points, but I would differ with them a little bit.
Okay.
They have nailed so much on the parents, but what I would want to say is that, let me first of all say that in some few weeks, less than 2 weeks, school is going to resume.
Yeah.
So what we are going to say here, since counseling is preventive and remedial, so we are also already speaking for the next academic year. What I want to say is that, yes, I stated the school stakeholders having equal responsibilities. We have the learner, we have the school. The school is made up of the administration, and in school the main actors are the teachers and the learners. We have the community, we have the home. I want to say that the poor, in quote, actor is the student, because every other action of the other actors, he is the final point. I want to say that there is something in education that we call intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. So the intrinsic motivation is that which the learner himself is, is provided or is gotten by the learner. Now, the community, the family, the school, the teachers are made up, are those making the extrinsic motivation. I want to say that among all the actors, the learner is alone. He is alone. How? I would like to explain. Now, school is resuming. The learner is registered in a school. Is the school well prepared? Is the school having all the components of all the requirements that will like project or induce success? That's question for both public and private schools. Parents too. At the beginning of the year, you will see a parents can then maybe the fees can be. There are many school needs to be provided by the parents.
Yes.
It is with a lot of gymnastics that the parents will even pay fees. So the learner across the year will be sent back home for fee drive. That one alone kills motivation, because he will be missing lectures, missing classes. And he may even pay everything, but in the course of the year, are the teachers doing their works? Are the teachers well paid? You meet some teachers that don't have the requirement, the adequate instrument, the adequate requirement to deliver the goods. You meet schools, even the school environment alone is a problem. You see a school that is not fenced. In between, you see those taxis. No, it's not even taxis. Those who are not even students will find themselves right into the classrooms. Eh? And at times, when they are coming there, they come and since they don't have anything to do with learning, they come there just to disturb. Before you know it, drama start taking place, and that's how students can even lose lives. And the opportunity to the lack of the good infrastructure and the fence, most especially, gives the latitude to these students to also go out to abscond from classes anyhow. And the absenteeism of teachers is another, in fact, is very dangerous because the learner throughout the year, give me a devoted teacher, give me a committed teacher. I will also give you committed and conscious learners. We are not here to take the exceptions. Yes, we know that in everything, but we are talking of the normal in the normal setting, under the normal and required conditions. That is that for the school. Tell me now a parent who is very conscious, who is concerned with the learning of the child by creating a relationship with the school to know what is happening in school. As a parent, I have done that and it has saved me a lot. It has helped me a lot. I think you are getting. Yes, the parents can even have that relationship, can provide all the needs, but the follow up at home. A parent or parents who in the evening they allow the children alone, the big ones who are preparing the exams, first school, common entrance, GCEs, they are those now to control the house and control the little ones. They are those to go to come and to do all the hard chores, and then before you know it, they are not even able to sleep, they to rest and to do their works, their homeworks. They are not even able to, how do we call, to monitor their learning. Because through when a student, everything that we do, we have a time that we monitor, that we try to evaluate and see whether we are going to the right track, we are on the right track, whether we are going astray, to see how to improve. This is when I will agree with you, the 70 and the 30%. But still on the 70 and 30%, that has changed. I will also say, like, I met it at the level of the university because I was an adult learner, and for close to 11 years I've been going to school. So I met that system in the university, but it doesn't mean that the instructor will not be there, because there are school of thought, Jean Piaget, Lev Vygotsky, who is like also supporting the fact that the learner is not an empty vessel.
Okay.
But we need instructors who are so conscious to help them
To activate.
discover, to activate. And when they have even brought out that which is in them, the instructor should also be there to canalize,
Okay.
to direct them. I think you are getting me.
Yes.
So, and then the university too has given the course outline. So in the course outline, yes, it is well stated at this period, this week, this month, this is what we are learning. So when the learner is going doing research, we know we have online and so on. Online, we have all trash online. We have the good, the bad, and the ugly online. So the instructor, the teacher, the lecturer should be there to help the learner. Yes, to help the learner now take the right information, the right knowledge from that trash. Coming now to the fact that, in fact, when I say so, my heart bleeds so much. when I see that in 2024, as Mr. Kikisi just said, in India, 14,488 deaths were recorded, followed by caused by examination failure
Yes.
and motivated by parents, means about pressure from the home. As I was saying, when you, the parents, you provide everything for your child, register your child in a school that you can be able to provide. Don't hang your back where you'll be using a stick to move. Then the child will still be the one to suffer.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, that child who has been driven back because of field drives, has been missing, all that one is killing the child, is demoralizing the child, demotivating that same child. Since the parent has managed to pay at the end, the child should perform the miracle they have never ever seen, which is wrong. So throughout the year, the parent is not playing its own role. The parent is not even trying to understand the way the school is functioning.
Yeah.
We'll keep telling them, if the school is also a laissez-faire, is demotivating the child, you, the parent, you are demotivated the child, you start seeing a kind of lack of interest,
Okay.
lack of interest for studies in the child. You don't even mind to know if you fail. This is your last year. If you try, know that my money, hey, you are in a class with those who are younger than you, 4 years, 5 years, and so on. And that's how you have been behaving. You have not been helping that child. And the child will keep failing. You are the main actor behind the failure. And you are hiding behind the fact that the child, you are not playing, how they call it, blame game. And all that, when the child registers it, and the child is also dying within him, the child has the urge to succeed. And the child is seeing the opportunity is not being given to him by the school, by the house. That child too is under stress. And then, whether you, the parent, you say something or not, that child is already, with the threat that you even give to the child, you gave to the child throughout the year. By this time that the child is waiting, the child already knows how can I say, his or her reward.
Okay.
If you don't say anything. But those parents cannot stay between the written part, and the expectation of result. Those categories of parents cannot stay quiet. Now, we want to tell parents, there is also an aspect, the type of the school. Don't register your child in a school because it's the school of your good neighbor, your friend with whom you were in primary, in secondary, in the university, and so on. Register, look for a school for your child according to the seriousness of the school.
Okay.
That's one thing. I would like to say that to those children, because we are here now to prevent the occurrence or the occurrences because we are waiting for the result.
Maybe I'll come to that one.
Okay.
Yes, I really love those courses that you've really handled there. They are really very important, that has made so many of these students. Now let me come to you, Tata Chair. If you look at, they have really handled some of these causes of this failure, that after that it pushes these students now to go to extremes. Now, what's your take about this topic tonight?
Well,
Maybe
it's a very enriching one, and I like the amount of light the pedagogue has brought on the set. Articulating through from a perspective as a key actor when it concerns academic, and the parent has continued to float, at least for all three speakers, course about this whole issue. Let me take this perspective. You see, poverty is a very bad thing, because the one thing is that people sometimes behave due to their financial situation.
okay.
I happen to have come across a case after writing the GCE, that was O levels, about 3-4 times. a family not even average but below average, they are barely surviving. Maybe they have 4 children to take care of. So money that they should be using, and because you know in such families you know that at least when you have your first degree they are free.
Yeah.
So now money that they should have,
Some not even up to first degree.
right? So
Yeah.
then they expected that now this money that you've already eaten up at that same level is money that should have taken you maybe through the program.
Yeah.
There is that burning frustration. If it's a poor family, they are like, why not say our own thing than they so. Now we are poor, we are helpless, and we seem to find ourselves in a situation that is no better. So we don't have money. Our children don't seem to carry on well in school. So what is our future? These are some of the issues too that push parents sometimes. It's a lot sometimes to handle. The financial burden, most especially for poor parents, because especially with this economic situation in the northwest and southwest region, incomes have dwindled. People are barely surviving. People are living below the poverty line. They barely can make for 3 square meals a day, and you name it. So education today, and then it has come under threat with what we know, the ongoing crisis with some actors calling on education. In fact, people have to hide to go to school, especially government schools that formerly were easy to access. In some of these communities, those schools have been banned by these actors. At the end of the day, these parents have to take bigger sums of money to go and pay in other schools, in private schools, because the people we know have said that they don't want to see government schools where they could go and pay 20,000, 25,000, 30,000 and have their children receive well quality education, at least for that level. But now they cannot access that education because of what is ongoing. They have to go and pay huge sums. Maybe they have to displace the child from around them. They have to send the child to other cities. In fact, all of this also adds to the child's performance. The child lives an environment that he has grown up in, he's well versed with. He lives to go and stay with a certain uncle, and 2-3 days you need to start judging cases. The auntie is like, oh, this child is too lazy, this child is not carrying water, this child is not. And now at the end of the day, the education goes behind. We start to discuss about other issues, character, oh, if he ever go stay for school, and the child on the other part has his or her own case. He tells you, I leave the house, they don't even give me food when I'm going to school. I go back to school, I don't even come back early, because if I come back early, I'm the one to do all the work. I'm to carry water, I'm to cook, I'm to do this, I'm to do that. And so and this thing is also to emphasize that this present context we find ourselves in, this is the devastating impact it has had on our communities beyond what we see and measure daily, be it the gunshots or the deaths, which are things which we see. It has other repercussions on us, and at the end of the day, when these children now will take a longer time, it has a political, it has a social, it has an economic impact. Talking now about the examination results that are to be released, well, I think it is partly while it is linked to poverty, but it also has a strain of tradition, if I should call it that way, based on our context, the way we appreciate success from where we're growing up. You see, now when people are growing up, they are somehow formed. It's either you make it through school or you are not important. Just about 10 years or more, older members of the partner will attest, people were like, technical schools, they are for the dumb. You know, those that will not perform very well in grammar schools were those that were bundled and dumped in technical schools. And then it appears that the technical schools have very difficult exams. So when you go there, you write, and then you just give up. You just give up, and education is no longer for you. But the truth about the matter is that education does not necessarily define the course of everyone's life. We have a lot of successful people. Again, success, the definition of success is relative. What you call success may not be what your neighbor calls success. So, but we have people that by common standards are successful, but who do not necessarily have some very high academic portfolio or necessarily perform outstandingly, carrying A's, maybe in their degrees, in their masters, in their, they call it distinction,
Yes.
or having 11 papers, all A grades, and you name it.
First class.
Now, having C's, well, it's not encouraged, but we must also understand that just like all fingers are not equal, this is how children are. Children are there that may not be too in intelligent per se in particular subject. They will perform, but not as good as others. Just like people are there that have a thing for arts, maybe for literature. Others are there that are more driven towards chemistry, too much towards calculations, and in written things they are not able to perform as much as they would in calculation. So I think parents would have also to understand their child. I think this is one place where in Africa we've really failed understanding what the child is. You know, every child is different, every child is peculiar. Sometimes we force children to pick on dreams that we did not achieve. When growing up you wanted to be a doctor, so this child you've gone when it was the child in form 3, you force the child, you must go to the science class, you must do chemistry. We take our failed dreams and we impose on the children. We say no, you must do commercial, you must do accounting. At the end of the day, this child may not be passionate about it, this child may have difficulties in maths, in calculations, and the child will not be able to make it. I think we as parents or parents have to make a conducive environment, and this conducive environment will start with them first of all understanding what parenting is. Let me conclude by saying that it's true that at least nobody has been a parent before to say that has been parent in the former life before coming now to carry out parenting, already having an idea of what it's about. It's also challenging, it's daunting, because people are facing it for the first time in their lives. They've never had 4 children before. This is the first time they're having 4 children. But I think we would need to open up maybe to reading, taking expert advice like the way our pedagogue was giving, and other ways to ensure that we are up to the task, we are open-minded, and we're able to trust issues based on the
Let me
data.
begin this with you before I start taking the next one. I want to begin this with you just to tell our viewers maybe we expect Dr. Busi Enes, who is a psychologist from the University of Boya, as a lecturer of the University of Boya, to also maybe give his own insights on this. Okay, now I want to put these students before you now. The result has been released. These students have failed. Now, how can parents, those who are watching us, guardians, the community, start reading a child who is getting towards maybe having some psychological worries? How can they start handling these children, or a child that you see is heading towards those kind of suicide mission? So how can they start? So we'll just be using a minute each. So
I think such for someone to commit suicide is not immediate. Well, I'm not a psychologist, but it probably would have it's a journey. You could have been seeing it all along the way. I think other speakers have raised issues of the way the parents has been addressing the child.
Those are some of the causes. How do we handle now?
That's why I'm saying that we cannot want to treat an issue without going back to the root cause. Because if we do not address this journey to this point, and we think that now we can just suddenly transform, I think it will be a very difficult process. It will be a difficult process, though not impossible. However, I think that we must build that communication. We must start at least by talking about it, engage in conversations with the children, and make it clear that whether they pass or they fail, they are valued. The value of a child is not dependent on the grade, it's not dependent on whether they pass or they fail. Just for the fact that they are on the universe, they are children of the universe, and they deserve to be loved irrespective of their results.
Okay, let me come and say I have something to say. Now we are looking at a situation. Let's say we wake up tomorrow and the results are released, and these children are in front of us. What should these parents who are watching us, these guardians who are watching us, the community people who are watching us, how can they start like approaching these students, detecting what they might be going through and what they might do, given that they have failed?
Okay, I would like to first of all start from what my panelists have just
Mhm.
said that it is also the reaction of the parents. The parents are also victim by the life circumstances.
Yeah.
Okay, now the failure is there. We are telling everyone that the failure is not the end of life.
Okay.
It just is it is just an accident. Yes, an unwanted situation, and failure is also necessary. We are not encouraging, but failure is necessary. There are cases where you see children who even parents who will be on the neck, on the shoulders, and everywhere of the child because the child has not performed in an outstanding manner. We want to yell in the studio. We are telling parents that children are having different learning abilities.
Yes.
Cognitive abilities are different. So know your child, and then you will get the, you will have the expectations. You cannot have the first child was a having a high ability of learning, could perform in an outstanding way. The second one is not like that. The third one is not like that. Don't compare your children. Now the failure is there or low success is there. How to identify now situations that are coming
Yes,
that
that is
can
it.
lead to an unwanted
Maybe suicide or
drama.
yeah, good.
Okay, when failure is there, you first of all see the child is ashamed,
Okay, good.
the child is crying, the child is isolating him or herself,
Yes.
the child is having anger. So we want to tell everybody around such a child,
Yeah.
even if you knew that the child was not giving his or her best,
Yeah.
but this is not the time. The time now is to manage and see how and get the better way forward. Now, after the child will start blaming, will start putting blame on people. Okay? And when there is shame, crying, isolation, what we should do, that child needs psycho-emotional
Yes.
yes, support and assurance. When we go to blaming parents, teachers, others, brothers, sisters, senior ones, and so on, we help the victim to accept the responsibility. If at all we dictate some of his responsibilities, but we do it with love. And then we help him now to accept his responsibility constructively, not in a harsh way. We come now again, life is over, meaning that there's no life, there's no more hope. So we help the person to be hope and positive self-esteem and also other educational opportunities. We come now again, when it is not working, we have done all that is not working. The child will start now withdrawing himself. We see withdrawal and risky action. That's when now the red line is already showing. When the child withdraw himself or herself. Now the teacher need close monitoring, because we should go from the green to the yellow
Yes.
and the red signs.
Okay.
I think you are getting me.
Yes.
When the child does not, because time is a remedy, it's a medicine. The francophone says le temps est un remède. So the anger, the frustration cannot be the same the first week, the same next week, the same the third week. If you see that all those aspects, the gravity, the intensity, is not reducing, you start now. And then us counselors are there. So, but unfortunately, we don't have a culture, a counseling culture society. Yes, but in the Western world, although this quantity or this significant death has been registered, but we should also agree that in the Western world, the society is having, it recognizes the value of the counseling in such a way that people can do self-referral. They move and they meet the counselor. Families can also meet the counselors for their situations.
Good. Yeah.
And before I drop the mic at this juncture, I want to say that we are also here not only for the cases of failure, but also of success.
Yes, we are to
Because
come.
there
There are two. I divided it in two ways. Success, because I also jotted it here. We have situation where even some churches call for thanksgiving for families that their children have succeeded. Even the children who have succeeded, they call for thanksgiving. But because I love the way my pastor does it, that both those who failed and those who passed
Come.
should come for
Yeah, the
thanksgiving.
role of
You
the
see,
community and
and
the
yes,
church
at
to
times,
handle that.
yes, he handles them even before the Thanksgiving.
I hope they
Okay,
give back
But
the
me now
Thanksgiving
is
money
a
to
no,
support the students the
no,
following
at
year.
times, no. Let's get so. At
Or they
times,
send it to heaven.
no, at times, families come that they want to give Thanksgiving for the success of their children. So, as I said, I love the way my pastor usually does it. He calls
it
a
is also
particular day.
dangerous. It's also
No, yeah,
dangerous.
I'm
What you
coming.
are doing, and
He
I will
calls a
hear you.
particular day because so many
Yes.
parents come for this.
Yes.
Now, what he does is he calls for
That's
a particular
nice.
day for all of them
That's
to come
nice.
for the Thanksgiving, both those who have failed and those
Who made it?
who made it. And maybe within the week, they come for some discussion
Yes.
along the line. He handles them.
Yes.
You see, but in some areas you find that the Thanksgiving is only for those who have succeeded.
Well, you still
Okay,
talk about the church. Let me just interrupt. I hope
no,
that
I'll come for
I hope
the
that handling is
success.
not just talking. I hope that it's financial.
No, I'm
Some of that
coming.
Thanksgiving offering should be given
No,
because some of those
no.
students.
We are not talking about.
Let me
No,
land.
wait.
Yes, I
We
know.
will come to that.
I
We
know.
will come to the Thanksgiving.
Let me just stop
Let me
before I
come to.
forget.
Let me come to
Let the other
KK.
panelists
Let
also
me
talk.
come to KK. Now, KK, some of these students. Okay. Now, this is a serious situation. Some of these students now, they should be shivering. You know, a few days ago,
Yes.
there was that Romo, and you know, on social media, some people like the result has been released, or they had a fake result that came out, and the GC board had to come out to debunk all those things that it has leaked and so on. Children were shivering. Some were like, result don't come out. They were going up and down, all those things. And you see, in a situation like this, parents are just at home. They don't know where their children are. So my problem here is, how do we handle this immediate situation? Because we can just wake up tomorrow and the results are out.
Yes.
So how do
And
we
the
start
drama
handling them?
has started.
Okay. I said in my first appearance here that the GCE of this year was already having a lot of wahala.
Yes.
And the fact that social media now aggravates it with fake results also gives a lot of panic. There's a popular saying, man, know thyself. Every parent who has grown up a child to the level of ordinary level should be able to know the child's temperament,
Okay.
should be able to know the child's mindset.
Yes.
You understand? And parents are supposed to take courses on how to manage diversity in the family.
Yes.
You know, one of the things is the child, they will not even compare the child to another child out to. See your brother, you don't pass shine, you don't feel. You understand? So the parents are supposed, just, you know, every teacher in the classroom is taught how to manage classroom diversity. Classroom diversity starts from the background of each children. It starts from the psychology. It starts from sexual orientation, different, social psychology of the class. The teachers manage it so well. So parents need to also go to school to learn how to manage their children and differences, so that by now, a certain Mr. X already knows that if this my daughter fails, this is how it's going to be. Now, you know, the first thing to identify even is that within these days, some children are no more eating, they have lost appetite to eat.
Yes.
Because
Especially this
of the
year.
the fear,
The
the,
drama of
the,
this
the
year.
fear of the release of the exam is already tripping them.
Yes.
So you will see that they don't have appetite to eat. And that's what will happen to in the house when they fail. You see that a child has gone for 1 week without eating it. Hunger strike.
Talk on the
Yes.
child.
Especially children that, like last year I had a case. I had a case that was so serious. You know, no eating, crying for more than 1 week.
Yes.
Continuous crying, lock herself up in the room and will cry. I had to call for a counselor. We're in Yaoundé. I had to call for a counselor. Like Madam said, we don't have a culture of counseling.
Yeah.
Because normally, before children go to write the GCE, that is when they are supposed to counsel them on the after what will happen after the
Aftermath.
The
result,
Yeah.
how to
management
behave
techniques.
after result. We have a society that is knowledge oriented. Do you know it's because some people fail exam 1, 2, 3 times that they discover where their real talent was, where their skills were?
Yes.
That those our friends. I don't have any friend who failed exam that is not successful. No, all of them who drop out and left education are the most successful people that we even got to wait
Yes,
for them.
yes.
Because that's when they discovered the real
Really?
thing that was going to give them
Really?
good food on their table.
Really?
So Madam said something that failing is also important because it can
Yes.
give you now that this is maybe the guy has his talent to play football. He failed exam 1 time, he threw out the books and went to the field. Today he's a professional playing in Manchester
Having
United or
billions.
whatever team you can name and earning a lot of money.
Yes.
So it is about it is a systematic error that we have committed where we are going to harvest knowledge and thinking that knowledge is going to put food on our tables. Skills are very important, and
Yes.
unfortunately in our schools we or
Our
in our
curriculum.
mindsets
Our curriculum.
we still see the GCE as the way forward until they have to read it in the national station, read it in local
Number
radios,
of papers.
publish it in newspapers. The newspaper will be selling for 5,000. Some people will still want to go and buy it because we are seeing it as But our friends in the garage, they also fail now.
Yeah. When they finish
To
the
fail to be graduated that they did not. We don't see it because we have decided to take the public exams into the media,
Yeah, okay.
and that is where the trauma of these children begin because the name will not be written in the radio. In the Western world, they don't do that. Only you and your family, your
And
result.
so we say thanks to those who
So-
have
so- so
changed the way of people getting their results. Because even there are some, what you said is very important. There are some people who up to today feel like, why are they not reading the results again on radio or published on paper, all those kind of things. But
They
at
see their
least
names.
we came to realize that that is not even the best way.
That
If you
is-
go to
that
other
can never
countries,
be
they
the
don't
best
do
way.
that. A result is supposed to be known only by the person
Parents.
who went in
Like the
for
parents.
it.
If
Yeah.
some other people want to dig, they will go and be digging
Yeah, we
from
have
other
Yeah.
phones. Yes, we have
Now,
phones. They
you
send
see,
it.
so you see, because the fact that you people have a study group, students they have study groups, and you might find a student who is the one teaching the others in his
At the
study
end.
group, and that is the one that will fail.
Yes.
And when that one fails like that, the pressure is very much. The school even has to come in very fast to that household. It is not only the parents who have to manage these cases,
Yeah.
because in schools they already know the candidate that they will say that
Yes.
this one the school is counting on him or her. They know that he'll make it, and then that one
And
fails. It
self-prophecy.
should not only be the
teachers.
responsibility of the parent to handle that kind of case. The school should even rush it. You imagine a school has 99%, but one person has failed. How would that person feel?
And the most talented.
It carries the blame that they do not have 100%
Carries the shame of the
because
school.
the society we are supposed to have trigger alerts towards counselors to come in very fast to handle such kind of cases. It is not supposed to be left the responsibility of the child. The first thing is that every child or every citizen is the first property of the nation.
Okay.
And so it's not only the parent who has the responsibility to groom the child in the mindset that he will not feel rejected, that he will lose his self-esteem and see himself or herself as useless human being in the society. The GCA board and in short all other stakeholders are supposed to be to come in after release the results are released to very prepare families because there are parents too who kill themselves.
Yeah.
Because the child has failed, the child has counted that this is the seat of the family, has disappointed and disgraced them. The inequality happens to parents. That is why I said in my first intervention that the first thing for a parent to do to fail is self-control. If you do not control yourself because of the anger of either the money you spent or because of the fact that you are seeing that child as the breadwinner of the house, or because you will just find yourself being loose to the point that you can talk anyhow to that child and push the child to do whatever thing that is not advisable. So the mental set of everybody in the community has to be, we are talking
Has to
about
be reshaped.
an area, mental health, where we just function by God's grace. We succeed by God's grace. We handle situations that are very complicated by just God's grace. There is no scientific or methodology that we use to
A well
find
designed
ourselves out of some
system.
situations.
A well
There are
designed
situations
system.
that I take the case of, I lost a cousin and I saw the father almost dying when we brought the corpse. And it took a lot of counselors
Okay.
to bring him back to life.
Close monitoring.
Close monitoring is very important.
Yes, yes. The loss
There are parents
of a
that have
loved
high
one.
blood. And so if the child fails the exam like that, the parent can die.
triggers it.
So those are
So you must start with the parents.
close relations
Yes.
are
I said
supposed
we
to
are looking
monitor
for
that kind
all
of
of
situation. The
them.
parents,
Yes.
even parents, their children's failure is also their failure.
Yes, they are
The blame
failure.
game is also on them. So
Okay.
we need to manage everybody in this ecosystem of examination failure. What about the teachers? Do you know that when the results are released, teachers too have a pass mark or a fail mark, or the school has a fail mark or a
Yes.
pass mark? And so individual is a collective effort that
Yes.
we have to bring a holistic approach into
Yes,
examination
yes.
failure to manage failure. Because teachers themselves, they also have stones and they can, one
can
student
even
can
lose
fail
their
like this and the
jobs.
teacher even collapse because that was the child that the teacher was also counting to.
Especially in private schools.
Especially in
The
private
success
schools,
of the
Maybe
sometimes
parents.
we'll hardly
the
have
money
that
they
because
want to pay
teachers are.
people they want to pay
Yeah,
salaries only
Okay.
based on their
Yes.
evaluating their
Mhm.
No,
performance in
there are
school.
no teachers who have been
So it's an
scared away by
ecosystem that
schools
needs to be
Yes.
due
managed
to the
very well.
failure
It's
Okay.
an
in
Of
private.
students.
ecosystem
Yeah.
with a chain of reaction actors that everybody needs to be managed in a scientific way in order to bring results, not by God's grace again.
Okay. At this time, before I come to you, dear viewer, let me also give some solutions that you can maybe make sure that you keep them with you. You can start with them tonight because we don't know from tomorrow up to Friday. Make sure you search the bags, the boxes, you search the room of
You
your
stop
children.
talking to children
Yes,
anyhow.
you make sure that you search them very well because most of the cases that have been registered in the past years, we realize that at times they had certain things in their bags, in their rooms,
Not even the
and so
hiding
on.
in their
So
rooms.
you search all those places that you know they can be very close to your children to start knowing what they are keeping at that time. Then, secondly, you occupy them during this time. Immediately those results are released, as they have said here, you read the demeanor of these
Start
children.
discussing
You start,
failure with
yes,
them.
you occupy them
Don't.
in discussions. If you care, you want to take them out just to occupy them, distract them. The next thing is, if you see a child sit so focused and quiet, it's so dangerous, especially if you know such a child is not like that.
It's not an intro.
Yes,
Introvert.
yeah,
Introvert.
good. When the child is an introvert, you see at one time, you might even see the child watching TV, then you come in with a discussion, you see the child is so distracted, and maybe you may even talk about what is going on, but you realize that his or her
She's not
reaction
contributing.
shows that she's not even, she wasn't focusing on what is going on TV. You know that is a dangerous time. So when the child is so focused and quiet, then you need to handle that. Then when the child is so isolated, as they said, in the room especially, make sure that child is not so isolated even now from tonight, because they start having those kind of stress, they think a lot. Then make sure that you check their phones, what they are communicating, what kind of things they are doing with their phones at that time, because their conversation with friends and other things can lead them to, they might be searching on things that are not very necessary. So you search their phones. Then their food that they are eating, make sure at any time when the family is eating, you eat together during this period. Don't allow them go take their food and eat in a hiding. Please, when they eat alone, you don't know what may take place at that time. Make sure that you put it together, you monitor their eating. Then you restrict maybe visits during this short period. Mom, I want to go out. You just allow the child just go.
Them.
Yes. So if the child wants to go out, it should be a visit that you may organize as parents. You go out with these children. And when maybe friends wants to visit, you monitor them. That is what you need to do. A child should just say, after failure, you say, I want to go and relax outside. I want to distract. No, don't allow that child to go out alone. You can create something, you go out with these children. It must not be too much of expenditure, because outing here you may think that you go and for some expensive outing. You may just stroll around, you're discussing, you just buy some granules,
Even
you know,
2 sticks of soya.
yes, 2 sticks of soya and so
Yes,
on.
yes.
So you then, if your girl child especially, if you notice a sudden menstruation that just come, be careful. That is already stress, a sudden menstruation which is not expected. Make sure that you start handling that child. And you see maybe the boy child, the girl child, maybe peeing so frequently when the results are out. Those are situations that you start realizing that the child is stressed up. Then the calls that they make to friends around and so on, try to distract them. Then you make sure that what they wear, it should be something relaxed. These are all because one of the incidents we realized, some of the children hide certain things in their clothes, inside them, and before you realize, they must have put something in their mouth. So make sure that they wear relaxed things like the situation that we noticed in, is it Douala? That is what happened. So they should wear relaxed things that you make sure that nothing is hidden in them. Okay, now let me get to you. Maybe we start getting some of your points, how to handle these children. That is where my point is, and maybe the consequences. Then now we get to those successes, those who have passed. How should they handle them?
First of all, you know that to succeed, you must fail.
Yes.
So I'll trash the fail part,
Okay.
and I enter the success part.
Okay.
Solution for me.
Okay, let's just take it, including those who have succeeded. You know, happiness too at times may lead you to
Suicide.
Disaster.
Yes,
And
there are some
suicide. Yeah,
who have
overjoyed.
is it high blood they call
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Even heart issues. and
Yes,
the like.
heart issues. So you need to know yeah. So let's just treat them at
Somehow in
once,
risk.
giving time.
The first solution
Mhm.
for every person, be it the student, the teachers, or the parents,
Mhm.
is, as you were saying, is calmness and
Okay.
self-control,
Mhm.
no matter what. In the yesteryears when we were writing, I have my experience. I've never had a high pressure before, so it's it is a passing through experience I'm giving to this youth, to this young generation. That the first thing that they need to do, whether you have passed, whether you fail, the first thing is that you calm down yourself. Then I think that those who have succeeded, let me take example for those who have succeeded in the O level, it is that it is a step for you to say that welcome to re-preparation again.
Okay. Okay.
There's another thing. Even for those who have failed, it is welcome for re-preparation again. And also to calmness and not too much happiness for those who have passed, because there are some. I had a very, very old time friend that was so happy because of the result. He went to Down Beach and he did not return to today.
Yeah.
Too much happiness. He bought a car with friends and so on. Because
Really?
of that happiness, they went to Down
At
Beach.
time when they succeed, they want to make enjoyment, outings, and so on.
And
Yes.
too much show.
Yes.
When you have too much show, too much notice me,
Mhm.
too much asabi too,
Yeah.
too much asabi. These are the time we have to cut them, because we know that there are some students that they feel that they are very intelligent in chemistry, in this, in that. I will pass this, I will do that. These are the time that they sit with their peers and they are.
And eventually, what you are saying, if you see your child succeed, at times you see some of them just buy bottle of alcohol,
And they
they
just-
hold them and they are drinking along the street.
Yes,
Before
and
you
not
realize
even
they are
only that,
drunk and yes.
those are minor issues.
Yes.
When it comes to
No, it
those-
cannot be minor. It cannot
those
be
are,
minor.
sorry, when I say minor, when,
Yeah.
those are one of the cases.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
That's one of the cases. Sorry, that's one of the cases.
Major cases.
Those are one
Yeah,
of the cases.
yeah.
Major factors.
Then another experience that I had when I was succeeding, I had what they call a DM and a counselor.
Okay.
So these two people were helping me again in my happiness. So if this is the time that
How
they
to
need to go
manage it.
back to their school, old enemies, teachers, to say, well, say, Madam, I'm so happy because so and so has happened to me. Because when a child does like that, when the child comes back to that same school, you see that this guidance, teachers, counselors, and the rest, they see that child as an exemplary child in the school and
Okay.
also in the community. Because if a child that can, you must not go and give thanksgiving to church. You must already work to say thank you to the teachers, thank you
To your parents,
to your parents
too.
who
Okay.
have made that you
To
should.
the uncles.
Because I know that the time they just call, hello, you have 7 papers, you abandon the phone, you go and meet the other and your happiness, and maybe you want to cross the road, and car just help you and take you back to God, and that is how
Okay.
That's it.
I think this I should go now this way. Then let me get your contribution Tata, at this time. Yes, we are just treating everything.
I think I like the lengthy point you articulated, but if I should be fair,
Yeah.
let me be very fair. You see, if we keep emphasizing, but I'm grateful, first of all, I should start from this perspective that we have been having this discussion before now.
Yeah.
I repeat, see, these things are not magical.
Okay.
You cannot suddenly wake up today and then you start putting out all the care in the world. Oh, mama, you. Then the child knows that that's not how you are. Hey, have you eaten today? The person already feels that
There's
this
intention.
you're
Something is
putting
wrong.
you get the person already understands that you're just acting a scene because you know that this thing is coming. Maybe you heard on television and probably the parent and the child they are now watching. Say they quite here for television. So and for how long can you do that? What I'm trying to say is that that's good, but we should make it a daily habit.
Okay,
You see,
good.
after
Yeah.
even the exams, what stops you from eating with your children?
Yeah.
You see, I think, see, that's why I'm even trying to process this whole issue of people dying because whether they failed or too much excitement or what. Because if we, in bringing up our children, we lay some of these principles, there would be no need for some overemphasis now because it will take a natural turn.
Yeah. Okay.
If we are able, when we are bringing up our children, we remind them that their success is not necessarily what defines them. They are human beings. They are entitled. Whether they make it or they don't make it, they have those rights and privileges that are accorded them. I think we would start to develop their mind. We would have them appreciate life. We would have them appreciate success and failure differently. It's not because you did this that you're getting this. You're getting this simply because you were born into this family. You're a member of this family. You're not eating every day in this house because you pass your exams. You're eating because you're a member
Yes.
of this family. So I think if we really make that convivial atmosphere, that spirit, that unity, children should feel at home all the time. It would ensure that when these issues come around, there would not be so much of a major problem and would always have discussions about it. I emphasize, sometimes in so many homes, there's never discussion. Maybe the woman sells in the market, goes out early in the morning to go, they call it catch cackle, sells, come back late in the night, she sleeps. So there is really not that discussion. Some of these issues, which if we're able to talk about it over and over and over again, we would find level grounds, we would understand what is wrong with the children and how to fix it. Let me talk about the Thanksgiving. I think when you raise it, pick me, you see, well, it is true that people should give thanks to God when good or bad things happen. But after when this Thanksgiving is given, it will make more sense if some of those people that did not make it in the exams for financial reasons, that money is even given to them to support their education. Let's be fair and frank. There is no need praying for someone that did not have money to sustain their education and you're praying for them. Well, that's out of place. Where I formerly stayed, there used to be a student. She lived with her aunt, and that was during the GC preparation periods. I met her a number of times about 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, and she had not eaten since morning. But she's preparing for exams. These are the conditions a lot of people are under. Well, she would probably make it, but there are other people that, due to these financial hitches, they've not eaten, they are being scolded at, there's a lot of work, they have no time to prepare for their exams, and you name it, all of these things impact them. Some of them have to leave their houses early in the morning and trek very long distances before they can catch up with exams. Some of them don't have phones. Well, sorry, I'm not attacking aunties and uncles, but they are the ones notorious for this kind of actions. They do not buy these children phones. And like it or not, they're talking about 30-70% education at the level of the secondary education has gone online. So children are the O levels, they have their whatever being sent there so that they can revise. You see, so that they can revise and they can share questions, they can share ideas with friends. Let me now intervene to so finally, my suggestion is that such Thanksgiving should be used to support the poor.
But
Talking
will
about
that Thanksgiving have its relevance? Because when you say you are going before God, and the Bible says you can't go before God empty-handed. So now, what is the rationale like? I'm not saying that they can say, okay, they should have a kind of fundraising in church, or people should help
Mola
students.
Mambo,
But what? Wait,
Mola
wait.
Mambo.
Let me ask my
Yeah,
question.
I know
I've
you.
not
I
asked.
know.
No,
Okay.
I've not asked.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is because we shouldn't deviate from the meaning of the Thanksgiving itself. You are going to thank God for any situation.
Mm-hmm.
And thanking God, what's the rationale behind saying that, okay, the money must go to
I've not. The point I'm emphasizing here
yes.
is that it will do more help if it is done that way. It's true that you are thanking God, but let's be factual. That money will not be carried to heaven.
No,
Yes,
no,
yes, no, no. That is the
yes,
truth.
physically it won't be
You are
carried to heaven,
you're
but
presenting it before God, right?
yes.
Some of those people, the management of the church,
Organizing the money.
I don't want to go
No,
to that
maybe we are
area.
looking
But
at
the point,
humans' effort
the point
now.
I'm
We
trying
are
to make
looking at human.
is that now
Yes,
we have some of these students that have failed because they lack these resources. These
yes.
resources are
That's why I say
relevant.
the church can come up with an idea that okay, they may raise funds to help give scholarship or what. But when you say you are going to God, whether it's tithes
See,
or thanksgiving, it
call
should
it
be
whatever. My emphasis is
You
that
can
the
put
church
yes.
it
should be able to respond to
diverting.
this beyond prayers because
You
the
have
church
a
Okay, good.
say.
is
Then,
People are
receiving money,
diverting.
so it should be able to respond financially. But let me come back
okay,
to
yeah,
because an issue of media was evoked
yeah,
to
yes.
say that you see times have changed.
Mhm.
Probably from a media perspective, I think
Okay.
that results being brought today online different from grades due to evolution. If results were published online in 2010, how many people would have seen their results?
It's not a must that they must have a phone.
Let me learn.
Yeah.
I'm talking about media access. I'm talking
Yeah.
about internet penetration.
Okay.
So at that time, that was the only means, at least for the most, that this information could quickly get to people.
Okay.
Newspapers may be printed in Yaoundé. How long will it take before it gets to Manfe? 2-3 days. But on the radio, it could almost be instant. Well, we could compare us to the Western world, but you know that the technological difference between we and the Western world is wide. So I just wanted to emphasize that as now technology, though we are very slow about it, as we are advancing, so I think the stakeholders are embracing it and advancing the
That's a
process.
very good point there. Very, very important. Okay, let's start having our last contribution on this topic. Maybe our last contribution on that. Let me start with you, Madam. Okay. Your last contribution that I will just have about 10
Yes,
minutes to the end of the
I'm
program.
so happy, I'm so overwhelmed. Even
Yes.
if it is the attitude of a parent will be done now, yes, we are also happy that we must have heard a disaster or
Okay.
a drama which could have happened in that house. And then knowledge is acquired all the time. That parents maybe had never knew that will start practicing. So I am so happy that we are trying to change mindsets. We are trying to educate people, all of us, because there are things I never knew that I'm hearing from the other panelists.
Yeah.
So this goes to for us. What I want to say is that teachers over the years, parents throughout, the year, while they are motivating the children to pass to learn, they should also at times chip in this discussion of
Yes.
failure, how to manage failure. They can even bring a story. As nowadays we have phones, we are seeing, we bring that topic, we discuss with children in class, learners in class, we discuss with them in the community and so on. But we know the message that we are passing. When it is not, whether you kill your child, whether you talk from now till yesterday, the day has already been done. Changes, no reverse. So all what we should do is to look for the way forward and for a better future. I want to say, please, My panelists say here that success is not only limiting in school performance. For example, the psychologist Ganya, who is the proponent of multiple intelligences,
Okay.
I feel that how they started understanding things. That's why you will see singers, but they are doing it very well. It is a matter of the way that the decision makers, we are begging that the decisions makers should like frame the society in such a way that while going to school, then they can identify your talent. Maybe because Ganya said musical intelligence is another is the ability to people to conceive music, those who are writing music and so on. They also say linguistic intelligence, those who can manipulate languages and so on. Then coming now to those skills that are not like learning in school, like music, painting. You go out there, you see a child will be doing painting, but you'll be going to school very well. But alongside painting, and then in later in life, he will make it very well with the painting. That's how the society, if he paints you very well and that's that how can I that frame, maybe 30,000 just to say so, then the person should be well assured that through this skill I can make it in life. Because we have also painters here that who have negotiated like that and so on,
And they are
and they
wasting.
become painters, but
They are
that
wasting.
particular skill cannot fit them. They cannot make it. So we want to say that parents, there are many types of intelligences, and then I would like schools to not to also put pressure on a child so much, to identify teachers and school to identify the learning ability of every child, and then appreciate that child when he performs at that level. Like for me, I know my children. I know my children. At times you see, I will, for example, when I was in the university, Dr. Lalo, not to name him, he said, performance like this and success differs from one individual another and families. That you see somebody who has had who registered 10 papers, or he has passed 9. The
Yeah.
family is very, very angry. But another one who passed 3, the throw party. I will never forget that. The throw party, saying that that family recognize and they know, and maybe that child is even the first to must have had
Yeah.
all level in that family. The throw party. Meanwhile, aside another one has gotten 8 papers, but everybody, why you register 11, why you did not? So we should know how to appreciate our children, encourage them. Then I cannot leave it without saying that success, we should be very careful. There is another person who will kill him or herself, or some parents who will kill their children now because their neighbor's child succeeded. Before you know it, by December, a very big stomach like you, whoa, and that's the end of that one too from going to school, and welcome to abandoned children and so on and so forth. Yes, those are also the consequences of poor management of success, and they
Okay.
also abandon their friends,
Yeah.
as we were saying. Please, those who are going to succeed also be by the side of those who will fail.
Yeah. Okay,
Thank you.
let me come in now to you, Kike. Maybe your last contribution before we start ending the program.
Yeah, my last contribution, like I said in my last intervention, that management of failures or passes should be given a holistic approach
Yeah.
because it's an ecosystem that involves several stakeholders. And when I was doing the statistics of suicide missions committed in India, which is the highest because of exam failure,
Yes.
how did they come out to reduce it?
Okay.
They decided that for all their
Solutions.
official exams, there will be receipts. And so the rate dropped from 7 to about 70% drop. So we have to restructure our academic year in such a way that there will be a first GCE writing, and those who will not make it will have time
The
another
receipts.
GC within that same academic year.
Yes.
I am already doing advocacy now
Yes.
for,
Yes.
for education stakeholders to buy
Take that
this
one into
proposal
consideration.
that GCE should be written twice a year.
Maybe
by
And if that's
December.
supposed to be the case, we have to reduce, you know,
The level of
we
frustration.
have to make sure that the syllabus is covered before Form 5. They are already just doing revision, so that when they when admit year in between 9 months, they have written the first GC,
Yes.
and then the one that comes in is a receipt of that same GC.
But normally, that's how the syllabus is. Normally, the syllabus of the GC for ordinary level, it begins even from Form 1, but no, wait, it begins even from Form 1, but the core begin from Form 3 with the basics right up to Form first term Form 5.
Okay, it means that you are
see,
actually buying
so,
my proposal.
Yes.
Okay, and one of the reasons is also that the GCE results comes out very late.
Very late.
And those our students who are well to do to go to foreign universities, they have already lost their positions
Yes,
that year.
yes.
So this is going to give room for people who. So let us be writing this into two times.
Okay.
It will not cost. Student
in
will pay for it now.
Okay, twice.
Let me ask you a
Which
question.
month do you?
When
They should write in April.
Which month do you think they can write a receipt
The
for
first
the
one.
GC?
Okay, like the first one,
April.
if school starts in January,
September.
September,
Yes.
I think by
December.
April.
no, December, maybe February, February or March. They are using the other one.
No, we need to be realistic
January.
here. Now, it
No,
should,
realistic is that we make adjustments for it to happen.
no, what I'm saying, registration for GC normally begins in
December.
by
That
December.
is normally
No,
now
no,
that
I'm
we're going
coming
to
to
change
something.
when we will change now and accept that we will make adjustment in everything. We are adjusting lifestyle because of situation, because of technology, because
Okay.
of we are to catch up with globalization. You must not get lost in the global concept. You must figure out yourself, where do you belong in this global context. And so if you see that in the global context you come late because you are doing you are writing this exam too late for people to catch up who want to go up in the globalization, then you adjust
improve.
so that
No,
it gives
you've
room.
not gotten what I was about to say, because the idea you give is very important. But we have to, like, while we are giving this suggestion, whether there's a period we think, because we need to look at the calendar, the academic calendar of the year. So if you look at the academic calendar, you see that maybe, like so many people have been saying about it, the best period should be around December, because it's a receipt. They have studied already. So it's a matter of refresher course, or should I call it that way. So by December, then even if they fail again, then they know that from January, that the second term begins. they
Perfect.
start
I didn't.
a good-
Sorry
yes.
that I cut you.
Okay.
Your proposal is buying.
Yeah,
All
okay.
those things will be taken into consideration. The calendar will be made. But
That's
I
a
think
very
that we
good
need to do that.
proposal.
We need to do that because now that we have made our generation to understand that exam is the key to knowledge. Exam is okay. Let us be giving the exams multiple times so that at first they were not receipt now in university, but they introduce receipt.
Okay.
So they should be introducing receipt at all levels so that people can catch up.
Maybe the day that one will be a topic, we'll look at it and look the disadvantage too.
The issue
Okay.
here is that parents spend a lot of money when children repeat a class.
Yes.
Okay.
And children spend a lot of time and miss some
And
opportunities.
some even drop
So
out.
give them the opportunity to catch up. If they do not
Some
catch up
drop
now, they will
out.
not blame us or blame the state. They will not be, we thank the head of state or we thank,
Okay, please, you have 1 minute. You don't end the program.
I've been listening to what our pedagogic and my friend in the field was trying to say. I think that they are, in one way, Mr. Kigish was one way wrong in the other, but right in the sense. Wow. Taking
No,
right
just say you
sense.
have a different view of yes.
I differ with him because when you look at the school calendar, school curriculum,
Yeah.
Madam here is a counselor. She can tell you that from September to December, it is to trash the first fresh semester courses where I can call it that those are from one eating something that somebody can just go and write And you cannot be saying we should write maybe GCE in December. What have that person studied? What have that person learned? Then we have January courses. We have January.
No. Wait. Let's correct something there. When they talk of a receipt, no. We are treating one thing after the other. When they talk of a receipt in December, you are not expecting people
Fresh
to
from
start
first student coming
the
up, right?
syllabus again. They have already studied. Even the receipt in the
The
university.
receipt for people that
Yes,
are-
even the receipt in the university does
It
not
is
take
not
a
for
whole
first student
academic
who
year.
come up,
Not so. They have already studied, they have finished the syllabus. So these 3 months that you will be given is for you to just refresh again and come for the receipt. And it's something that has been coming up, but at one time people have been giving some other disadvantages which can still be.
I don't buy
Okay.
that idea.
Okay.
Because we'll be putting that child, that learner, into double dense pressure. But if, for example, the child takes from September to maybe March or March, May, then that child knows that from May to June, it is the first 2 GCE exam. You can do that.
You mean the receipt?
The normal exam and the receipt, and the GCE board and the Senate can handle that.
You say the normal exam and the receipt.
Yes.
You cannot take that the same because all of them will just still be the GC. Why don't they just wait for the
Moderator,
GC?
let me see.
Yes,
I
please,
beg
let's
to
just
one
hand.
second.
Yes.
Do you know that even though we celebrate passes, there are people that will pass and they still have to repeat because either they miss English language or a certain subject, one subject they need to go ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
So that short term is not for fresh comers who are entering from 5. It has nothing to do from 5 to them who just entered in September.
It is those who have written already.
So because somebody can fail English, I will not proceed to university.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Now it gives him time to sit again. So they can catch up and move on.
I was proposing that if you have failed, you have failed. Then excuse me, let me finish, please. Let me learn. When you start back the curriculum till a period that is the 7th month, all studies should have ended. Then the 8th and the 9th month, which they'll be writing, that is May and June, they'll now say, okay, the first set of GC, we have what we call mock and have mock regional mock.
No, that one does not concern the GC.
Remember that we had a presidential mandate that was 5 years. It was changed to 7.
We shall be coming
back. People did not argue. They gave the reason why they changed it to 7. We are saying that for in academics, they need to be receipt of official exam like GCE. There should be a receipt. And don't say that it's impossible. That's how people were saying that the presidential mandate in
the receipt is not like for those who have started
until we have extension now. The councillors are still there.
Receipt for those who have studied the syllabus.
So if we are talking about the future of youth, we are talking about something that affects the youth.
Please, 30 seconds, please. Let me end the program, please.
Okay, I want to buy the idea of Mr. Kinkichi because if I'm not making a mistake, at the level of the university, if this is true, I've been praying, I've been like, I don't know, I've been appreciating praying for the vice chancellor because it seems as if I heard that if you don't make it at ordinary English at ordinary level, you can still come to the university, but you make sure that I think it is considered like a requirement, like UB requirement. But I can tell you people that there are students who could never go to the university
just
because of that, and they could not afford the means to go out, and some even go to the other side. They could not make it due to language barrier. And I want to tell you that I've been in the university. At times, there is a scale of measurement in statistics that states that the failure does not mean total absence of knowledge. Because there are situations where you can enter in a class. The case of a brilliant, a talented learner who can go and fail. Maybe a learner can come in class, like you see
during examination or at the verge of the examination, he has lost a loved one, or he has, and so on and so forth. Psycho-emotionally, he cannot perform. Such a learner, when he fails or when he performs low in maybe a subject, it doesn't mean that he could not make it.
Okay.
Are we
Thank you
there?
so very much. Yeah.
So our decision makers, we are begging and we are appealing.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much. Last week we had Back to School as a humanitarian organization.
Yeah.
So I thank all those who have supported the Child Rescue Network Association, and to see that Child Rescue Network Association to go far, and more better. Also, I thank everybody that is watching Royal TV. Royal TV is the best.
Okay, you just reminded me those that His Royal Highness Jembo Diabet will also be giving out back to school materials to students and pupils. And so those who feel like to support that venture, at least, is going to take place on Saturday, and he wants to give it to as many students and pupils as possible. Thank you for coming, Madam.
Thank you, moderator. It's a pleasure, and I love to come here the second time or next time consecutively, maybe with the same panelists.
Okay.
So it's been a lovely program.
Thank you so very much. Thanks for coming, Chair.
It's a pleasure. It's always good to be on here and to share towards nation building. Hope we meet again some other time. Bravo, Cameroon.
Wow.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I want to say that we are happy. We do our kudos to the Lionesses for bringing us back the trophy.
Yes.
And say what a woman can do. A man may not do better than the woman. And so we were happy that we had a lioness on the panel.
In the panel.
We could not do this program without a lioness.
Let's just see qualifiers too for the men will begin in September. Maybe next month qualifiers for the Nations Cup next year. So it will be.
Okay. Let me just hook up. Remember that the lioness did not qualify for this competition.
Yes.
This is the exams that we are talking about here.
Good.
That it was only when they decided to add the number of teams that they found themselves in that competition, and they end up taking the cup. So you guys are going to see it tomorrow. Don't see it as a key of life to go and commit suicide or do something wrong to yourself.
Okay, dear viewers, thank you so very much for staying put. Thank you. It is at this point that we'll come to the end of today's program. See you next time for another program. The moderator, Mwambo William. Bye-bye.
Bye.